Welcome to the class, students. How are you all? I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to discuss chapter 2, Nutrition in Animals. Let's warm up. Observe the pictures and answer the questions that follow. So students, what you have to do? You have to observe the pictures and then you have to write the answer of questions. Let's know about Holozoic nutrition, different ways of taking foods, digestion in humans, absorption by digested food. Digestion in grass-eating animals, nutrition in amoeba. So students, these are the topics we are going to discuss in our chapter. Look at the first we have. Let's begin. All living things need food to survive. Food contains nutrients which give us energy, help in the growth and prepare the body tissues. So students, food से हमें क्या मिलती है? Energy मिलती है, growth होती है. Now come to the first topic we have, Holozoic nutrition. Plants prepare their own food by photosynthesis. Animals obtain all their food from either plants or other animals. All organisms need food to survive according to their body structure, function and need. Different animals eat different types of foods. What an organism needs to eat, how it eats food and how that food is used up in the body is together called nutrition. It can be defined as the requirement, the mode of intake of utilization of nutrients by an organism. Since the food eaten by an organism to be obtained from another living organism, plant or animal, it is mixture of complex substances, it may not be useful for an organism into its complex form. Hence, after eating, food gets broken down into simple substances needed by the body of the organism. So students, अगर हम बात करें न्यूट्रिशन की, तो आप सबको पता है न्यूट्रिशन क्या होता है. देखो, हर एक एनिमल, हर एक प्लांट, हर एक पर्सन टू पर्सन भी न्यूट्रिशन डिफर करता है. हर किसी को अलग अलग चीजों की जरूरत होती है. जो खाना हम खाते हैं उसका डाइजेशन होने के बाद जब हमें उससे एनर्जी मिल जाती है, दैट इज न्यूट्रिशन. Now we are going to discuss the steps of holozoic nutrition. The process of holozoic nutrition involves the following steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. So these are the steps of holozoic nutrition. Look at this flow chart, students. We have steps of holozoic nutrition: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. Now the first step is ingestion. It is process of taking food. So first step क्या है? जब आप खाना खाते हैं. Then we have digestion. Digestion is the process of breaking down of complex insoluble organic compounds into simple soluble molecules by the action of digestive enzymes. So student, digestion क्या है? Digestion में जब आपका जो complex compounds है वो simple compounds में break down हो जाते हैं with the help of digestive enzymes. Here we have absorption. Absorption is the process by which simple molecules of digested food are absorbed through the intestinal walls and are transported to all the cells of the body through the bloodstream. So students, अगर हम absorption की बात करें, जो वो simple molecules बनते हैं digestion में, हमारी body उन्हें absorb करती है और हमारी हर एक cell के पास वो क्या होते हैं? Transfer हो जाते हैं with the help of bloodstream. Now we have assimilation. It is a process of utilization of absorbed nutrients by the body cells for energy and synthesis of new cells. So ये क्या है कि उस absorption का use होना, that is utilization होना. Now we have egestion. It is the process of getting rid of undigested solid part of the food. So student, egestion क्या है कि जो undigested solid part है food का वो बाहर आता है as a waste. Get it students? Now we have different ways of taking food. Different organisms have different ways of eating food. Infants of humans and many other animals feed upon their mother's milk by sucking them. Then we have snakes swallow the animal or their prey without chewing them. A frog captures a prey with its sticky tongue. Human beings use their hands to put food into their mouth and swallow the food after chewing. A hummingbird sucks nectar of plants. Some aquatic animals filter their tiny particles floating nearby and feed upon them. Spiders weave a sticky web in which small insects get stuck. An earthworm uses its muscular pharynx to swallow its food. So students, these are the different mode of taking food. बच्चा जो है अपनी मम्मा का दूध पीता है, जो अर्थवॉर्म है वो अपनी मसल्स की हेल्प से फूड को स्वेलो करता है, स्नेक डायरेक्टली अपने प्रे को स्वेल कर जाता है. सो दीज आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ टेकिंग फूड. Amoeba, a unicellular animal, engulfs tiny particles of food by using pseudopodia. Amoeba surrounds the food by pseudopodia and then makes a food vacuole to engulf the food. So student, amoeba क्या है? एक unicellular animal है और वो अपने food को engulf करता है with the help of pseudopodia. Look here, digestion in humans, absorption of digested food. So now we are discuss about the digestion in humans. The digestive system of humans is well developed. It consists of the gut or alimentary canal along with many associated digestive glands. The alimentary canal is divided into mouths, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine and rectum. So student, these are the parts of digestive system of humans. Look at this picture student. This is the picture of digestive system of humans. Look at the first: tongue, mouth, buccal cavity, esophagus, then we have stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Now come to this side: diaphragm, gallbladder, bile duct, liver, pancreas, and in the last here is appendix. So these are the parts of our digestive system. In the mouth or buccal cavity, the mouth leads the food into the buccal cavity or oral cavity. The buccal cavity contains teeth, tongue and salivary glands. The teeth cut the food into small pieces, chew and grind it. The salivary glands secrete a watery juice called saliva. The tongue helps in mixing the saliva with the food. Saliva is a digestive juice which helps to digest the starch present in the food partially. The slightly digested food is swallowed by the tongue and goes down into the esophagus or food pipe. सो स्टूडेंट, सबसे फर्स्ट क्या होता है? माउथ बकल कैविटी. आप खाना इंटेक करते हैं, वहां पे खाने को चीव करते हैं और सलेवरी ग्लैंड्स जो है सलाइवा सीक्रेट करती है और वहां पे आपके जो स्टार्च है वो क्या हो जाता है? पार्शियली डाइजेस्ट हो जाता है. उसके बाद आपका खाना कहाँ जाता है? फूड पाइप. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, नाउ लुक हियर. द फूड पाइप, esophagus. Esophagus is a tube-like structure connecting the mouth and the stomach. It is about 30 centimeter long. It has powerful muscles which gently push the food down to the stomach. The esophagus contracts and relaxes in a rhythmic fashion to facilitate the forward movement of food. This movement happens in other parts of alimentary canal as well and is known as peristalsis. No digestion take place in esophagus. So student, second है esophagus. Esophagus में कोई भी digestion नहीं होता है. Esophagus आपके फूड को आपके माउथ से स्टोमक तक ले जाने में हेल्प करती है. ये 30 सेंटीमीटर ट्यूब लाइक स्ट्रक्चर आपकी बॉडी में प्रेजेंट होता है. नाउ लुक हियर, वी हैव एक्टिविटी. एक्टिविटी 1. Ask one of your friends to open his her mouth. Count the number of each type of teeth in the upper and lower jaw and complete the table given below. So students, what you have to do? You have to do this activity with your friends. Look at this table: teeth type, the number of teeth in the lower jaw, number of teeth in the upper jaw. So what you have to do? You have to find the type of teeth. You have type of teeth and you have to find the number of that type of teeth. Get it? You can do it. It's very easy. The stomach. A stomach is a muscular J-shaped thick-walled bag. It is the widest part of the alimentary canal. One end of the stomach is connected to the esophagus to receive food and the other end is connected to the small intestine where food is passed from the stomach. It churns the food to mix digestive juices. The food in the stomach is churned into semi-solid. This churned semi-solid food is known as chyme. Gastric juices are secreted by the walls of the stomach and mixed with the food. Gastric juices contain some enzymes and hydrochloric acid. The enzymes present in the gastric juices break down proteins from the food. The hydrochloric acid kills the harmful bacteria present if in the food and helps the gastric enzymes to work. सो स्टूडेंट्स, आपका जो स्टमक है वो सबसे वाइडेस्ट पार्ट होता है आपके एलिमेंट्री कैनाल का, और वो फूड को कहाँ लेकर जाता है? स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन में। उसका एक एंड ईसोफेगस से कनेक्ट होता है और एक एंड स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन से। उसमें बहुत सारे गैस्ट्रिक जूसेस जो है वो सीक्रेट होते हैं और वो हेल्प करते हैं आपके फूड की डाइजेशन में, और मेनली हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड भी वहां पर सीक्रेट होता है जो हेल्प करता है आपके फूड में जो बैक्टीरिया प्रेजेंट है उनको किल करने में। नाउ वी हैव द स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन। From the stomach, partially digested food transferred to the small intestine. It's about 20 feet or 7 meters long in the adult human. It is a highly coiled tube and consists of 3 parts: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. So student, these are the 3 parts of in small intestine. Get it? And small intestine में कैसा खाना जाता है? Partially digested. Okay. Here, do you know? The small intestine is the longest part of the digestive system. Okay, students, now the digestion of food is completed in the small intestine. The small intestine receives bile from liver, pancreatic juice from pancreas, and secretes several digestive juices of its own. So, students, small intestine में digestion of food complete हो जाता है. Okay, look here. Bile makes the food alkaline and helps in the digestion of fat. Pancreatic juice helps in the digestion of food, in the digestion of proteins and carbohydrates. Intestinal juice helps in complete digestion of proteins, carbohydrates and fats. Proteins are broken down to amino acids. Carbohydrates are broken down to simple sugars such as glucose and fructose. Fats are broken into fatty acids and glycerol. So students, small intestine में क्या होता है कि आपके जो फूड के न्यूट्रिएंट्स हैं वो सिंपलर फॉर्म में ब्रेक डाउन हो जाते हैं। ओके, जैसे आपने अभी देखा, फैट जो है वो फैटी एसिड और ग्लिसरॉल में हो जाता है, कार्बोहाइड्रेट ग्लूकोज और फ्रक्टोज में हो जाता है, प्रोटीन्स एमिनो एसिड्स में हो जाती है। सो दीज आर द सिंपलर फॉर्म्स। ओके स्टूडेंट्स, एब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ डाइजेस्टेड फूड, एब्जॉर्प्शन इन स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन. The digested food is absorbed mainly in a small intestine. The absorbed substances are passed into the blood vessels and transported to different parts of the body. Look here. The inner wall of a small intestine contains numerous finger-like projections called villi. Student, look at this picture. This is the picture of villi. They are present inside the wall of a small intestine. Okay. Look at this picture, intestinal villi. Okay students, the villi increase surface area of a small intestine to about 5 times for the absorption of digested food. Now we have check and made. You can do it by yourself as we already read about these things. The large intestine. In large intestine, excess of water from the materials is absorbed. The semi-solid residue is stored in the large intestine called rectum and finally thrown out of the body from time to time. The throwing out of waste of digested food from rectum is known as egestion. It is also known as defecation. So students, आपकी लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन में क्या होता है कि जो आपका फूड है जो थोड़ा बहुत एब्जॉर्प्शन रह जाता है वो होता है, उसके बाद जो वेस्ट मटेरियल है वो रेक्टम पे पास होता है और उसके बाद आपकी बॉडी से बाहर आता है. Here we have digestion in grass eating animals. The plant-eating animals are called ruminants. They cannot digest cellulose, which is present in all plants. The digestion in these animals takes place as follows. Their stomach is divided into 4 chambers: the rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. First of all, half chewed food is swallowed, and it then goes from the mouth to the rumen, the first chamber of the stomach. Here, the bacteria break down the cellulose. This half-digested food goes to the second muscular chamber, the reticulum. From the reticulum, the food is sent back to the mouth to be chewed again. The half-digested food is called cud. Chewing of the cud is known as rumination, and such animals are known as ruminants. So students, जो animals plants को eat करते हैं उनको हम क्या बोलते हैं? ruminants. और रूमिनेंट्स में डाइजेशन कैसे होता है स्टूडेंट्स? उनकी जो बॉडी है उसमें 4 चैम्बर्स, उनका जो डाइजेशन सिस्टम है उसमें 4 चैम्बर्स होते हैं. ओके, वो पहले वो ग्रास को ईट करते हैं, हाफ चीव ग्रास को क्या करते हैं? स्वेल कर जाते हैं, उसके बाद उनकी बॉडी में प्रोसेस होता है एंड अगेन वो उसको क्या करते हैं, चीव करते हैं. Look at this picture. Digestive system in ruminants. These are called ruminating animals or ruminants. Cows, goats, buffaloes, sheep, bison, etc. are good example of ruminating animals. The retrieved food is swallowed for the second time after passing the first two chambers. If first two chambers, it enters the third chamber, the omniscient. Here the food is further broken down into smaller pieces and finally enters the fourth chamber. The fourth chamber, the absorption. Here, all the enzymes act upon the food and the digestion is completed. The process of retrieving the cud of further break down plant matter and stimulate digestion is known as ruminating. The food then passes to the small intestine where it gets absorbed. After digestion and absorption, nutrients from the food are taken to the cells in all parts of the body. The cells oxidize the food to release energy. The undigested food then passes to the large intestine from where it is digested through the rectum and anus. So students, क्या होता है, देखो आपने देखा कुछ स्टेप फर्स्ट अगर हम डिस्कस करते हैं तो उनके चैम्बर्स में जाता है, देन उसको दोबारा क्या करते हैं, रिचीव करते हैं, फिर उसके चैम्बर्स डिफरेंट चैम्बर्स में जाता है, फिर एब्जॉर्प्शन हो जाता है एंड देन आफ्टर दैट क्या जो उनका वेस्ट होता है वो इजेक्ट हो जाता है उनकी बॉडी से. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, नाउ वी हैव न्यूट्रिशन इन अमीबा. अमीबा, a unicellular microorganism found in pond water, is the simplest living organism. It has a cell membrane and a round dense nucleus which control all its functions. There are many bubble-like vacuoles in its cytoplasm which help in the digestion. Amoeba feeds on other microorganisms found in its surroundings. When it senses any food, it sends out its finger-like projections called pseudopodia around the food particle to engulf it. Students, look at this picture first. This is amoeba, a single-celled organism. And that's how, these are the steps, that's how they take their food and digest it. Okay students, look at these pictures and read them first. Different stages in the nutrition of amoeba. So students, in this picture, all the stages of nutrition are shown. Okay, here, ingestion. Amoeba eats tiny microscopic plants and animals as food, which float on water in which it lives. When an amoeba encounters a suitable organism, it pushes out two pseudopodia around the organism. Gradually, the tips of the pseudopodia fuse with each other. As a result, the food is engulfed with a little surrounding water to form a food vacuole inside it. So students, ingestion कैसे करता है अमीबा? अमीबा क्या करता है, जैसे उसको ऐसे लगता है कि there is a food something for him, तो वो अपने pseudopodia को क्या करता है, इंक्रीज करता है एक फिंगर लाइक स्ट्रक्चर में, और वो क्या करते हैं, उस फूड को एंगल्फ कर लेते हैं और एक फूड वैक्यूल वहां बन जाता है. देन डाइजेशन. The enzymes from the surrounding cytoplasm enter the food vacuole and break down the food into simple soluble substances. Then absorption. The digested food present in food vacuole is absorbed directly in the cytoplasm. Then we have assimilation. The digested food absorbed by the cytoplasm is stored or utilized for its growth, development, multiplication, and releases of energy. Then we have assertion. The undigested food gets stored inside the vacuole. The cell membrane of the amoeba suddenly ruptures at any places and the undigested food is thrown outside the body by the vacuole. These are the different steps of nutrition in amoeba. What we learn in this chapter, now we will discuss it in a nutshell. Here, what an organism needs to eat, how it eats food, how it eats food, and how that food is used up in the body is together called nutrition. The process of taking food is known as ingestion. Digestion is the process of breaking down of complex insoluble organic compounds into simple soluble molecules by the action of digestive enzymes. Then we have assimilation is the process of utilization of absorbed nutrients by the body cells for energy and synthesis of new cells. Then digestion. Digestion is the process of getting rid of undigested solid part of the food. So students, I hope you understand all the steps of taking nutrition. Now we have keywords. Ingestion, the process of taking food. Digestion, the process of breaking down of complex and soluble organic compounds into simple soluble molecules by the action of digestive enzymes. Absorption, the process of passing digested food into blood vessels in the intestine. Assimilation, the process of utilization of absorbed nutrients by the body cells for energy and synthesis of new cells. Digestion, the process of getting rid of undigested solid part of the food. Thank you students. We will meet again in the next chapter with some new concepts.